it was an opportunity that Prophet could not pass up. So they set up the rules in advance. It was going to be like Dragon Ball Z, no Dragon Ball style tournament type thing where they would all face, but instead there was a point system. When everyone fought, it was going to be anyone can participate, and so the matchups were random. So sometimes you'd have two Guardian people fighting or two Prophet people fighting. So the winner would get 1 point. In the first rounds, the winner would be getting 1 point. If there was a draw, there'd be no points awarded. Then the winner would move up to the next round. And the next round, the winner gets 2 points. Then the round after that, the winner's going to get 4 points. And the round after that, the winner gets 8 points. And so then 16, then 32, then 64, all the way up. Any draws means 0 points. So when facing someone from your own side, it was usually if one person was clearly stronger than the other person would just give up. That way the point can be awarded and they can move up. And then when they were opposite people, a Guardian versus a Prophet person, if they knew they could not win, they tried to do as much damage, because that way when the next round came along, they would, end up not winning, and if nothing else, they would try to get it to a draw. If they knew they couldn't win, no points is better than the enemy getting points. And so that was the idea behind it. So they said 1 year to prepare for all that. And so there were some people who were in the experiment who could not do magic. Neither Guardian or Prophet could figure that out. They were considered the outcasts of the group because they had the gift, they just couldn't figure out how to use it, or when they did use it, it took a lot of energy to create a small amount of fire. So then about a few months before the tournament, that's when Destiny wakes out of his coma. And then he quickly discovers that he has the ability to tell people to do anything he wants, and they listen. And therefore, he gets transported to Earth, where the training ground is going to take place to meet his father. And his father has all the smugglers terrified of him, and the smugglers refer to him as the Prophet, and refers to the other one as the Guardian. That's when the nicknames start to actually be put into use. And his father's not considered terrifying, and he's like, okay, the nice guy is now terrifying, and he couldn't figure that out. Why was everyone so afraid of him? And he really wasn't afraid of him, but was afraid of what he could do. It's so when Destiny met his father, instead of his father being happy that Destiny was alive, he was kind of like detached, like, oh, I guess I don't have to create you now, because Destiny realized that, because Prophet realized that if Destiny ever dies, that Prophet, all he has to do is recreate, and the offspring will be an exact replica of Destiny every time. So Destiny could die as much as he or she wants. It really doesn't matter. And he could just be recreated, either by him or by Guardian. So he really wasn't too concerned. But since, he's really concerned about this tournament, he's being detached, not really paying attention. And so then this is the part where, Destiny's like trying to figure out how to use magic. So his father shows the basic concept of why magic works and all that fun stuff. And he just can't understand it. So then the next day, Prophet describes in more detail how the magic that he works is you first sense the energy all around you, and you can pull energy from around you or pull energy from inside of you, and you take it and you reshape the energy into something that you can use. Um, so he's like, for example, with the fireball, you take the energy and then you manipulate it into the compounds that make up fire. Now, you can make the fireball any color you want, but keep in mind that that's more manipulation, more energy, so the simpler the better. And then how you manipulate, that's why some people use words, because words help focus to cast a spell, but it's not really necessary, he says. Or you can use hand movements, which is not really necessary, but it also helps shape and focus and use less energy for some people. And he's like, that's the general concept behind the spell. You can make it stronger, weaker, based on how much energy you put on it. And he's like, what's really cool is when you put more than one thing. It's like, take a fireball and add lightning to it, and you get this electric ball. And he says, which is stronger than both of them. He says that putting spells together is a really ultimate way of fighting, that you have to not take something's basic form but make it complex. And no matter how much Destiny tried, he couldn't get a spell to happen. I mean, he could just get his hands to smoke. That was the closest he could get to a fireball. And his father was very down and depressed on how on his son being an outcast, a reject, somebody who couldn't use magic, even though he was magically in tune. So his father told him to go hang out with the other rejects and fume to himself about the entire thing. So Destiny, feeling very sad and upset, goes off to talk to the other people. And then he finds out from the other people that this planet actually has a soul, which is the size of a grapefruit. And it's like this orb, and and that's where its powers and all that is kept. And that they don't know what's going to happen, because no planet has ever actually been physically conscious, and and that's why everyone is so terrified of his father, is because his father keeps muttering in his sleep and just at random times, and he thinks people are not listening, about the end of life, that's the only way, that we have to get above the other competition, that he has to be supreme, that there's running out of time. If this universe needs to be the ultimate universe, if the galaxy's going to be the best, he needs to step it up, that it's going to be a make or break, either his way or no way, it's for the best. And it's terrifying everyone. Nobody knows what he means, and no one's supposed to. It's supposed to be confusing. But what's really going on is, in the lore, which I'm not going to talk too much about, is this galaxy that you're in is the youngest, and it's been given the task to develop a method to overthrow the father of all galaxies. And to complete this method, the galaxy divided up its ideas on how to make the most powerful users of magic into several thousand different multiple people, and one of them is prophecy. And so those people have their own pawns that do what they want, and whoever comes up with the best idea gets to represent this galaxy in destroying the father of all galaxies. So that's basically what's going on, is he wants to be the top, the best over all these other prophecies that think that they're better than everyone else. So it's really a competition in a competition. And so it's only the prophet that realizes that this is going on right now. But it becomes a lot clearer later.